What's up, streamers? Back with us, we got Nate in the building, lady behind the boards, and myself. We've been wanting to do a show for the last couple weeks about the governor's race in Virginia, which is our local race, and some of the importance of voting. It's more important than voting for your president. You know, he's not an emperor. This actually affects you at home. But we decided we were going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. Instead of just talking about the governors or not the governors, but who's in the race for the governors for this primary vote on Tuesday, we're going to do a little game at it, a little governor's game. And the lady behind the board is going to call out some of the policies. She's not going to tell us whose policy or whose thought process behind each policy it is. And we're going to pick the one that we side with. Typically, I like to think that I'm more conservative. You typically say liberal, and a lot of times, like I try to bridge that gap, and a lot, like I said, a lot of times we're closer in thought process than we typically realize. You know, people hear Republican or Democrat, and they automatically check that box because that's who they feel they side with before they hear anything else. So we're going to test that today. We're going to hear people's positions on policies, and we're going to go with the one we like the best. And we're kind of blindfolded. We don't know who's actually saying this. I've done very little research in this.
I've done little to no research.
Little to no. So this will be, we'll see if we really are conservative or liberal, or if we are closer to the middle than we think we are. So, the four people that we're going to be discussing tonight is more of the front runners, two on each side. You have, for the right side, I guess, the Republican side, you got Cory Stewart and Ed Gillespie. On the Democrat side, you have, I'm terrible with their names, Northrum and Pirelli.
Sure.
Not to be confused with the tires, and I might have messed up their names. But those are the four guys' positions we're going to be talking about. So let's get the game going, baby. Let's do this.
I tried to pick things that were fairly popular in Virginia.
Okay.
We'll go with that. These are kind of the big hot button issues. That,
Yeah, not the country issues.
No, these are things that tend to come up a lot. A lot of questions
So,
are asked are surrounding these.
We're not going to hear about the
specific-
North Dakota pipeline on today.
No.
Okay.
No.
Because we're
all
far
right.
from North Dakota.
Right. So first, position 1, right? We're gonna do a Second Amendment.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. So we've got opposes firearms regulation proposals. That's what I got for that.
Opposes firearms regulation proposal. What?
Proposals on regulations on firearms. That's it. That's all I got. Sorry.
They oppose the regulation on firearms.
Yeah.
So they're saying no more regulation. Keep it how it is.
I suppose, right?
Okay.
Then you've got, supports universal background checks, a ban on assault weapons, supports requiring less ammunition capacity, and then we've got, opposes firearm regulation proposals, supports the elimination of all current firearm regulations, supports an amendment to the state constitution guaranteeing the right to carry a firearm without a permit. So then we've got supports universal background checks, supports requiring less ammunition capacity, supports eliminating exception, allowing a background check to be skipped if it's taken more than 3 days, supports preventing those convicted of stalking and domestic abuse from possessing firearms. So you've got
Was that 5?
that, no, that's 4. So you've got opposes firearm regulation proposals. That's all I got for you. That's one candidate. Another one has background checks, ban on assault, less ammunition capacity. That's number 2.
And opposes those.
Supports a ban on assault weapons.
Okay,
Supports universal
So
background
oppose,
checks.
support.
supports requiring less ammunition capacity.
Okay.
Okay?
That was number 2, right?
That's number 2. Number 3, opposes firearm regulation proposals, supports eliminating current firearm regulation proposals, and regulations, not proposals, but regulations as they are, and supports an amendment to the state constitution guaranteeing the right to carry a firearm without a permit. Number 4, that was 3. Number 4 is universal background checks, supports less requiring less ammunition capacity, supports eliminating exception, allowing a background check to be skipped if it's taken more than 3 days, supports preventing those convicted of stalking and domestic abuse from possessing firearms.
Okay, I got my answer. You got yours?
Yep.
All right.
Who do you go with? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I don't really. The first one and the second one, I agree with. The third one, I don't like. No background checks. So really, I only don't like the third one.
Well, you got to pick one.
But I agree with 3 of them.
You got to pick one.
Do you want to discuss it?
I don't understand the less ammunitions. I don't understand that question.
Like requiring less ammunition capacity?
Yeah.
Or less, yeah.
Does that mean that they want a limit to how much ammunition you can have?
It sounds like that, and the size of the clip.
I'm guessing it's probably size of the clip, like how much you can carry, like in your gun, like loaded, I guess.
I'm not sure in this stance. I know that there's talk about putting something on there about how much you can buy at a time and stuff like that. And I think there already is some laws like that. So
now, Virginia
so people can't just hoard
right to is a
open carry.
Yeah, Virginia's an open carry state.
Right.
I can
Which I'm
strap
fine
Dirty
with
Harry
that.
on my
Now,
leg.
Most of our, at least almost all of them I've ever seen, if you go to a gun or ammunition store, they will run a background check because they don't.
And I think that's fine too.
So it's left up to the establishments to do.
Yeah.
Right, but most of them will do it.
I think a background check is fine. So.
Well, I'm gonna go with my pick. I'm gonna pick number 1.
Number 1. All right.
I definitely don't like 2. I don't like 4. 3, the problem I have is the it's going a little overboard. Like I don't want a ton of gun control type stuff. Like the left wants to
I
put
agree
in.
with that.
But it did sound like it was just like fucking like let everyone have them. And there are some people that don't need them.
To be fair, at the end of this is only information I've gotten.
Right.
That I have in front of me at the moment. That does not mean that any particular candidate, you come to the end of it and you're like, what? That doesn't mean they haven't said something specific that I have missed. So
correct.
So
this is a broad stroke.
Fun, just kind of
It's a broad stroke.
Yeah, just kind of getting stuff out there.
So I'm gonna go with 1.
Okay.
Who's your answer?
1.
I'm gonna go with number 1.
Copycat.
All
It
right.
doesn't have to do with copycat though, because I didn't fully understand.
You guys agree on something. Nobody had a question what a universal background check was?
I've bought a gun.
Surprised.
A
You
universal.
don't know what it means.
What, universal background check?
Yes.
I assume that's just a background check abroad, meaning they can look into your criminal history and
your mental history.
You are incorrect.
Oh.
I actually had to look this up.
Oh.
Fun fact.
Okay.
So I had to look up like what exactly is that?
Uh-huh.
Right? I keep hearing it and people go, yeah, what is it?
Yeah.
This is stating that any gun sale, any at all, has to have a background check. So so my question is to somebody who's like, yes, the universal background check is like, so if my husband dies and then but I've never had a background check and I inherit his guns, am I now a criminal? Am I owning this gun illegally? If he's not home, but it's registered to him, and I, shoot an intruder, right, and save my family's life, am I gonna go to jail?
Well,
Is this like the
maybe.
DUI, catch? See, because that's tricky. Because if you're drunk and you get in a car accident, even if it's the other person's fault, it's your fault.
If they
that
T-bone
shouldn't
you,
have been there.
yeah.
So this is where I have an issue with that I'm a little confused. That I'm like, wait a minute. I understand they want to shore up the, gun show loopholes. Like, you hear that. I get it. But this seems that it would run into some sticky situations that, no, I should be able to leave, like my great-grandparents had this really ancient rifle.
Well, if you want to buy your
Passed
son
down
a
to your
gun,
family,
you
they
can't
should
go
be able
and
to keep it.
it makes it difficult. Like, say for like a birthday present, you want to buy your son a gun.
Yeah.
It makes it difficult.
Yeah, so I have some
because you're not the
questions
one
on
that's
that.
actually going to be shooting the gun.
It's a background check to buy the gun, the purchaser. It's not a background check that is like the gun is licensed to that person and only they can legally hold the gun, right?
Well, yeah, but see, that's the question I have. I don't actually know the answer.
Yeah.
I couldn't find that answer.
Yeah.
I looked at what a universal background check was,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't find the answer to these other questions. That I was like, well, what if this happens? Well, what if
Because
that happens?
for real,
So-
if you've been in a mental institution for aggressive behavior, there should be a list that you are automatically put on that makes it more difficult for you to get a gun. Like,
In some
not
states,
saying
yes.
you can't have that gun, but
No,
you need to
no,
go
if
be
you're, like,
reevaluated.
schizophrenic,
So you
can't
need
have
to
that.
have a reevaluation
Right.
or something.
or if the
along those
FBI is
lines.
looking at you for potential terrorism.
Yeah,
Funny enough.
that's definitely a reason for
not that
background
ever
check.
really happens.
Orlando. What? Anyways, so all right. So
Next question or next
question.
position policy.
Next position. All right. So this one's gonna get a little long. All right.
Sure.
So be patient with me. I'm gonna try to.
Just make sure you break it up so I know it's a different person.
Yeah. All right. So let's do education. That's a big one. Hot button issue here in Virginia. All right. So.
Common Core sucks, but we don't have it.
Yeah, we don't have
We
it.
have no child left behind.
We have our SOLs. Garbage.
Shit out of luck.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you have this one seems to be really big, and I guess because of Trump talking about it, so I'm gonna go with that one. All right. We've got supports voucher programs, which is choice of schools, whether it's home, private, public, charter, online, whatever. Right. So the playing field is leveled for parents to create a competitive environment for different types of schools. We've got opposed to increasing state funding for charter schools. Flat out. That's
Opposes
number two.
it.
Just opposes it. That's number 2. Alright?
What is a charter school?
The charter school is a school that's up. How do you want to put it? I guess it's technically private. Like, you have to apply to get in.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the same rules and standards as like a government school. Like, if you have like let's say they work really really well up in like New York.
So they don't have to take SOLs if they're in Virginia.
No.
Okay.
I don't. Maybe they still have to comply with some of the laws, but they're allowed to do other things differently. There's actually a really really great interview with a guy who won't say his name, who runs a charter school with Gavin McInnes, and he's talking about what he's been able to do, where he was able to like go to the student's house because they had to apply to get in. It's not like it cost them money like that, but they were a troubled kid, right? And it's a lot of times it's parents and whatever. Well, he's going to their house, yanking them up out of bed, like, I'm gonna take you in your pajamas if you don't get your butt to class. Let's go. Well, you can't have that,
Yeah.
right? For charter school, it's kind of like this is like your last effort on
Yeah.
some of these kids, and they've been very successful. Now you hear other reports not successful,
Right.
or awful, or horrible, but if you're picking your kid to go there, or your kid's choosing to go there,
So it's like what a parent would say, we're sending you to military school.
a little bit. They are very strict.
Yeah.
They are very strict because they're not gonna. They've already messed up, and that's usually how they're ending up in this situation, right?
No, I better understand
Or
it.
their public school is just atrocious, but they can't afford like a private.
And this person says that they're
They're opposed to it.
opposed to
Number-
funding
opposed
those,
to increase state funding for charter schools,
to increase it, but they're fine with leaving it wherever it is.
right? Then that
This
was number
person
2.
too?
The first person supports the voucher programs in all the varieties of ways and all those sorts of things. Number 2 is opposed to increasing state funding for charter schools. A lot of it has to do with supports universal pre-kindergarten.
So like our pre-K program, they support that.
Universal pre-K kindergarten. Yeah, pre-kindergarten. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, this one supports measures that would ensure that a greater proportion of education spending goes directly to classrooms. Supports modified standards of learning, which is our SOLs, standards of learning, with increased teacher discretion. I don't know what that means. Supports emphasis on career skills. Alright. And then you've got supports increasing state funding for charter schools on the condition that public schools do not lose funding as a result. Supports taking action to ensure that all qualified Virginians can afford a college education. Supports universal access to further education. Supports apprenticeships and job training in the last 2 years of high school for students not planning on attending college.
Is this number 3?
That's number 4.
Okay.
Yeah, number 4. Right? So 1, you've got pretty supportive of school stuff, leaving it to parents to figure that out. As far as I can, that's what I got. And then you've got number 2, is opposed to the charter schools, but supports universal pre-kindergarten. Number 3 supports measures for a greater proportion of education spending going directly to the classrooms. And number 4 supports increasing state funding for charter schools on the condition that public schools do not lose funding as a result. And supports universal access to further education for like apprenticeships for job training in the last 2 years of high school. Something like that. Is that?
I mean, I already know.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I already know which one I'm picking. Do you have an idea?
Yeah.
Cory?
I like number 1 again.
Alright. Oh wait, number 1. Alright. Gotcha.
With them all not being exactly the same thing, I think number 4 is probably the one that I...
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I heard there? I heard a lot of taxes being increased.
Well,
to pay for that
it's
crap.
public schools. See, number 3 was the one where we have more going into the classroom, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, with an elementary school kid, us parents provide the main things that are going to be used in the school year at the beginning of the year, and then even sometimes they send out another one in the middle of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, we cover that as far as all their crowns and colored pencils and markers and glue and all that stuff. But we cover that, and I don't see a problem with that because our kids are going to that classroom, and the other kids can use it as well. And you're getting 2-3 bottles of glue. If every parent is doing that, then
Are you kidding me?
I mean, we're just sending the supplies with them they need for the year.
No. You're sending supplies for your kid plus like 4 other ones.
Yeah,
that part gets me.
Okay,
15 glue sticks?
Yeah.
Are they eating them?
No, but that's for the whole year.
No. It's 30 for the whole year here.
Yeah.
30. 4 boxes of crayons.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
My kids hate to color. I know damn well they're not using those crayons.
Right.
They hate coloring.
Well.
So I'm just like, we spend $300 at the beginning of every school year on school supplies.
Well, the reason...
And I'm like...
The reason that I don't feel like going with number 3 is because I don't think that it's necessary to give more money to the classrooms when we, the parents, are giving the supplies needed. So I didn't really feel that point.
All right.
Number 4, this person... Can you read it back real quick?
All right. Number 4 was supports increasing state funding for charter schools on the condition that public schools do not lose funding as a result.
So they get more funding.
Supports taking action to ensure that all qualified Virginians can afford a college education.
That is something that matters to me.
What?
making sure that we can afford the college education. So,
Well, it just sounds
How?
like the government.
well, by
Hold
making
on.
it less expensive to attend.
Yeah, but how are they going to do
By
that?
cutting the money that's going to the people that are getting the most money at these schools.
No,
That
just
would
make-
be the schools. The schools bloat their budget because
The government pays
the
for it.
government is funding them.
Okay, so then if he's the governor, he can make it so it'll be cheaper.
No, but
somehow.
no, yeah, by
No,
giving you
obviously
more.
we don't know specifically. Like,
It's-
I can't.
Right.
ask
What
this
it sounds like
person,
to me is
what it
that they're going to implement more financial aid.
Okay.
So that's still coming out
But,
of the taxpayers.
But maybe I don't know. I don't know the exact position as you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, it could be that way. But then again, maybe he can find some way that motivates the school to bring down those highly paid people, so the money can be spent more.
Okay, here's the thing. If I decide I want to homeschool or do a charter school, technically, I'm paying my portion for my kid to go to public school, right? If I decide to do something else, I should be able to use that money to cover that, not pay for the public school and then
And the other school.
and then have to pay for the homeschooling as well. That I should. Everybody should get a. I guess that's what they're calling the
That's
voucher.
what the voucher program is. This
Right?
is how much we spend on your kid per year, right? This
Yeah,
per
this is
people.
how much of your
You
taxes
get that
come out.
money to take it where you want. You don't actually get the cash, right? Like
Yeah.
you get the money and it's. I'm sure it would be regulated as far as like it has to go somewhere. You can't just keep it.
Which that was guy one, vouchers. But I don't know much about vouchers, so I'm.
That means you got the opportunity to put your kid in the best, what you think is the best position
Because all
possible.
kids are different, and some kids benefit from homeschooling. Some kids benefit from public school if you have a good one, or you have a community that's well involved. And well, see, this is the tricky part of public schools. And when you hear different things about like, oh, the funding for the schools and the funding for the schools, like we've been calling for funding for schools forever.
We pay more per pupil in the country,
yeah.
our country, than any other country. However, we're like one of the shittiest for that.
Yeah, so obviously this is not a money issue. We're throwing money at the problem. We're not solving problems. And I don't really know if the voucher program solves it. I personally feel that that's a step in the right direction because once you start taking money out, it's like, oh wait, no, we're really good. We're gonna step. They start stepping up their game. You create competitiveness so that otherwise, if you have a rich neighborhood and a poor neighborhood, they all go to the same school, right? And they're forced to go to this public school. If only the rich people have the money to take their kids out of that school because they're like, well, this school sucks, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
There's no money going in. However, if that same poor neighborhood that goes to school there also says that school sucks, and they get the money, they can send their kid to a private school too. That's how a voucher program works. Where the public school is going to go, oh snap, oh man, we need to step up our game. We need to be competitive. We need to bring the students back so that money will be coming to us.
And that seems like a good point.
I also support number one because of that. Because I think that's a good solution because it's at least a step in the right direction to, instead of dumping money, throwing money at a problem, at least it seems like I'm trying to solve the problem rather than playing this numbers game of moving money. That always gets me that I'm like, whoa, where are you going to get this money to do this thing? That sounds great. Where are you going to get this money? Where are we going to get that? I don't know. But anyways. Sorry, so you've got number one and you took number 4, right?
Yep.
All right.
Wrong.
All right. So we've got some. I had some trouble with this one, so let's move on to the next one. I couldn't find same issues here. Like under one of them was infrastructure. Right, that's a big topic.
Okay,
hot
but-
topic. Some of them don't have anything. So I'm like,
Well, if they don't have
all
anything,
right. So I've
we
got.
can put there's an NA box if we don't like
Yeah.
anybody's ideas.
So we're gonna go. I got nothing on number 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna giggle when I get there. All right. I've got So for infrastructure, supports increased investment in infrastructure. That's what I got.
Supports an increase in infrastructure. That's it.
Increase investment in infrastructure.
I
That's
agree
what I
with
got.
that.
That's what I got. Number 3. Remember, number 1, I don't have anything.
Okay.
Number 2, that's what I got. There may be more in this mess somewhere, but number 3, I've got supports universal access to broadband. I don't know how that ended up under the infrastructure spending spot, but
So the government's going to send us internet throughout the state.
I thought we have the million billion mile a minute internet that shows us pictures of planets.
Yeah.
Who needs broadband?
The woods.
I'm going with the first person.
Is that the only 2?
no, I got number 4.
No.
Okay.
First person is I don't have anything for
Well,
them.
you saying
Second
the...
person's is supports increased investment.
Okay, so 3 broadband, 4 is what?
Is supports a 3-part infrastructure development plan. Development of roads and public transportation, universal access to broadband, and energy efficiency, and focus on renewables. That's what I got.
Well, there's more information on that person, so I go with that person because I have a better outlook of what they're talking about. And I'm just doing this as a normal person, you know. I'm not like super politically charged.
I guess number 2, which is the first one you said, infrastructure, I'll go there. I don't want the government involved in my computer service.
Yeah, I don't care about the broadband.
And the other 2
Well,
seem...
I think that would eliminate competition. Like, I'm dying for, another type of internet.
That's
Yeah, I'm tired of
cheaper,
Comcast.
because Comcast it's ridiculously expensive. There's
Yeah.
nobody to fight them for
Right.
it to get my business,
Right.
so I'm stuck with it, and they can charge me whatever they want, as they told
Right.
me on the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Come on, guys. Come on out to the rural areas. All right, and you said number 4 because he said a lot of things.
Well, more points, and I don't disagree with any of the points.
You just said you didn't care about the broadband.
Yeah, but
And that's one of them.
everybody else said broadband.
No, the other guy just said infrastructure.
He said, hold on. Yeah, he said increase investment in infrastructure.
I think-
Now, if I was really awesome, I'd be able to pull this out and like expand this all for you to tell you exactly what it means, but I don't have that kind of time. I'm not that kind of show. Okay. Anyways, this one is, and then number 4 that you picked says development of roads and public transportation.
Yeah. Because our public transportation in our area is horrible.
You have a car, right?
I do, but I know plenty of people that have to wait 2 hours for the next Fred bus to show up.
Why? Why is that?
They don't have cars.
Who runs it?
I don't know. Fredericksburg?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that Uber or one of the taxi services, one of the local businesses would be faster?
Yeah.
Maybe not as cheap. Are
Yeah.
they faster? Will they get
Probably,
you there on time?
but it's like $2 to ride the Fred bus. It's $15 to take an Uber.
Yeah, that will get you to work on time. Choices, people.
You either get up early or you pay more.
Choices.
Or you save your money up and buy a damn
What about
car.
the people in our state who lose their license because they couldn't afford to
Whose
pay the
fault is
ticket?
that?
All right, fine.
Pay the lose their license to pay. So they got a ticket.
If you lose your license because you couldn't afford to pay the ticket,
Oh, hold on,
they
hold on.
take your license,
What's the ticket?
and then your
What was the
insurance.
ticket?
Yeah, what's the ticket?
I don't know. I'm just saying they got a ticket that cost them that was
Did
too
they get something
expensive.
wrong because they got a ticket?
All right.
We
Well,
can go all the way
people make
backwards.
mistakes. Things happen.
Absolutely,
You know.
they do.
So they have a ticket.
Okay,
They lose their license. Hold on. Let me just finish the scenario.
I already know
They
the
lose
scenario.
their license, and once they've lost their license, now they can't drive themselves to work. But their insurance, because they're not a licensed driver, decides to drop them because they don't have a license and they're not gonna have a license.
Oh, yeah.
So
We've
now
done this.
they don't have a license and they don't have insurance and they have no way of getting to work. So they've now lost their job because they couldn't get to work and they have no family and no one that can help them in our area. So now they're taking public transportation to try to get to job interviews and try to find a job. Then they find the job, and how are they ever going to be able to pay to have the license and the not having insurance, $600 to get the license back, then also pay for the insurance and buy a car? How are they supposed to do all of this unless there's some sort of like bus system in place that allows? Because I mean, we're a big enough area that we should have a better bus line.
Why?
We're not.
We're in the 2000s. It's the 2000s and stuff.
That's just how I feel.
Hold on. First off, they could have avoided all of that drama if they'd done what they were supposed to do right at the beginning. They'd have made the right choice in the beginning.
Well,
like
say
this
this person had the choice of paying the $500 fine. Well, I don't even know what that would be for, but $500 fine, or paying their mortgage for the month.
No, okay, so I've had many tickets, and they give you ample time. They give you 3-4 months to pay a ticket. So, yeah, it might be hard to come up with $500 in 30 days. But if you have 4 months, I'm sure you can come up with it. You might have to make some sacrifices.
You guys have no sympathy for the fuck-ups of the world.
No, I don't.
You're talking to one.
Yeah.
Who's not had a license.
I went 7.5 years without a license.
Oh my god, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear the pity part. We've done it. I mean, it's not coming from a place of...
I don't know.
I'm better, and I don't make mistakes. I've made a shit ton of mistakes.
And paid for all of them.
I've paid for them all. I've spent the time. And I've looked back and owned responsibility for everything I've done. So, yeah. Now, I would agree with you if your argument was the guy who didn't pay child support lost his license. Because I think that's stupid. And when you lock up people like that, it's like, no, make them get a job and take their money from them to pay their child support. But taking their license is going to help them work and pay child support. But you didn't bring that up. You said the guy didn't pay his tickets.
All right.
Which he broke the law.
Maybe I should have been talking about that guy. I don't know what guy I'm just making up. I'm just saying that situations happen to where it's difficult for somebody to try to get their feet back on the ground. And when you live in an area,
welfare programs and stuff to help you do that.
You cannot
they literally do.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yes, but they don't really want to help everyone. They can't afford to help everyone. You know?
Well, everyone should be making better choices with their life.
Exactly. You can't help everyone, so stop trying. Stop trying to help everyone.
Some people don't want to be helped. Some people, you could be like, hey, buddy.
Let them die.
On the side of the streets. No, you could be like, hey, buddy. Like, I'll give you this $20, and we're going to go to Goodwill. We're going to get you a suit. We're going to get you cleaned up. We're going to get you a job. Or, I'm going to give you this $20, and I'm going to drive you to the liquor store. Which one do you want to do? I bet you there's a 50-50 shot. It's a crapshoot on which one they're going to do. They may not want help. It's like, yeah, give me the $20. I'm going to go get a bottle and drown my sorrows. Not helpful. Now, like I said, 50-50 crapshoot. There are some people that want to do better. There are some that don't.
I had a homeless guy try to punch me in the face because I bought him a case of water one time. He's like, I don't need your shit. And I'm like, obviously you do. But fuck you, buddy. You know, I was trying to do something nice.
Yeah.
So
I've offered homeless people to buy him a sandwich and they said, no, I'd rather have the $5. Well, fuck you too.
Well, that's somebody who's in their position because maybe they've chosen a life of drug use or maybe they've chosen a life of
So
alcoholism.
I don't need my taxpayer dollars to give them another bus.
Yeah, but that's a portion of the people that are
and so was
affected
exactly what you were talking about. How much of a portion of what was that string that you just did?
Well, obviously that string was not a strong string, okay?
Well, I mean,
so why don't
like
you mentally take it to that guy who lost his license for his child support? Take it to him, and put him in that scenario.
I've been in that scenario too.
Yeah, I mean,
I was locked up
haven't
because
always had a car, you know.
Either have I.
I've had lost my license.
I've been
many
okay.
times.
So I'm 36, right? I got my license for the first time I think when I was 18 or 19, right?
Yeah.
I think in that span, I've had license.
Been a licensed driver.
Been a licensed driver the equal amount of time I haven't been.
Oh yeah.
and had a car the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I
I understand the struggle.
I
Yeah.
get it. I get it.
I've also been okay. I've had my license taken away for speeding and drinking and driving. Both you don't do.
Personal responsibility.
Yeah, I've been the guy that they got locked up for child support and they took my license. You know,
So you've been both of my guys.
yeah.
You didn't need help then? You didn't want a better transportation? How did you get around?
I had to beg people for rides or I walked to wherever I went.
Because there was no
Or I
Uber.
slept at people's houses.
There was no Uber for you then, sir.
No, I took cabs. I made decisions. Hey, if I'm going to work, I might just crash at my boss's house. I did that for like a month. I was that guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna show up for work.
I mean, you
did.
got
that
through
guy
it.
that walked to work.
Mhm.
2 miles. Like you can get there. Now, sometimes you're gonna have to make those sacrifices that you have to step back and go, wow, I made a lot of really crappy decisions.
Yeah, which
and
I did.
And I'm done. I'm done with that. And I'm trying to move forward. That's the person you're talking about,
Yeah.
right? Now, that's the type of person that will go out of their way to make sure they're on time.
Yeah.
They'll make sure that they get to work.
I know that guy, and he's the guy that runs to work every day. He runs wherever he has
Right.
to go, no matter how many miles it is or what the weather is outside.
Right.
He runs.
Right. So now that he
You
has
work
work
with Forrest Gump.
No, I
Does
don't work
he-
with him. He's very near and dear to me.
Now,
And-
how many times
and
have you guys
I was
seen
running.
somebody struggling who was actually trying to do a good thing, and you as individuals, not taxpayers, not the government, you as individuals said, I'm going to help that guy. Let's give this guy a ride.
and that happens,
For
but,
instance-
but for in that situation, it's not possible to have happen every day. See, this is the only reason why public transportation does strike such a
Yes,
meaning
but
for me.
But my point was, if it was private, would it run better?
Don't know.
See, that's my issue.
Our
A lot of
public one
times,
definitely
again,
sucks.
it's run by the city.
Have you noticed that
and
anything
it's
that's
not
ran
as-
by either a local
it's late,
or
it's broke down,
federal government, it sucks.
It's a gas guzzling.
So why pump more
But
money
we
into
pay.
the machine?
I agree with that. I agree with
But
that.
you just said pump more money into it.
But
That's what I'm saying.
well,
I don't think that's the answer. Not to throw more money at it, because you ever seen the Fred buses?
yeah.
Some of them are a little ratchet.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Not
like
in a DC bus
something
either.
else. I agree. Maybe they should be pumping that money into private instead of public. Does it state public specifically?
It says development of roads and public transportation.
And when they say
Well, the
public
government doesn't
transportation, does
do
that mean
private.
that it has to be? But maybe they
No,
need to
hold
start
on.
thinking about that.
We could have, back in the day.
Well, Trump just did the airlines.
Back in the day.
What's a private?
Right. We could have run the metro all the way
Right.
to Stafford.
Why wouldn't they
in
have
the
done
70s.
that? Right.
And they said no.
Right.
We don't want to do that. I'm like, why? They're electric.
Yes. We
They
should
would-
have
why? Why
a
didn't we
metro that
plan
would
ahead?
take
You know,
people even to
we're
DC
gonna
from
do
our area.
HOV lanes. It would have been a tourist spot. You could
Right.
have been
Right.
outside. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's pleasant. You've got lakes and whatnot.
I'm surprised
Big
more
bus
people.
in the city.
You brought up
Then-
HOV.
They did the HOV lanes, which came out of taxpayer money, and now it's a toll lane. You
That,
gotta
that's
pay
owned by
for
a
it.
private company.
It's owned by a private company on a road that you paid for.
Wow.
No, I'm not.
They got the deal by saying that they would
no
expand it, but they own it up to a certain point.
And so I'm like, no, you guys had your chance for your public transportation and to make a difference.
And you
to
blew it.
Think ahead. Think ahead. You talk about being progressive and stuff. Think ahead. I'm done giving you any more chances. It's just been squandered and wasted. No more. You get no mas from me.
Okay,
I
then
have
next
zero.
one. Next
Anyways,
one.
Yeah,
so
that was a
number-
good one. That was a
Yeah.
good one.
All right, so that was 3. All
Fuck
right,
your
let's go
transportation.
to where was number 4? All right. I should have been looking. I'm sorry. I failed. Oh, there it is.
You know what you sounded like?
What?
You sounded like when people talk about abortion, right? And they're like, "Well, what about the person who gets raped by their dad
Okay.
and brother?" And
I'm
their
just
Do you
saying.
know how many people that
And it's like the percentage of that happening.
I
has died
see
getting
the lower.
an abortion.
I see the lower side of things more than I see the other side of things.
The hell does that mean?
That means
See the lowest. So you're
what I see in
negative,
our
pessimistic fuck?
in our area is struggling people, and I struggle to an extent, but even in my struggle, I'm blessed. These people struggle worse than I have to struggle, or more.
Do you ever talk to these people?
I do sometimes. Most of the time when I talk to them, they're approaching me because it's at a gas station or a grocery store or wherever it is. Like the boom of people who are homeless, so to speak, or maybe living in hotels or living, in the woods in tent communities. That's like all of this stuff going on. That's what I see in our area. I don't see much positive change at all in the last 5-6 years.
Where the fuck are you hanging out that there's tents and shit?
Dude, they're behind the Lee Hill food line. They're in the woods over at that 95 exit ramp. They're down by the river by loads, man. I'm telling you though, that's real stuff.
So then I gotta ask, how did they get there? What happened?
Yeah, what life choices did these people make?
And I guarantee you, most of them don't have a license, and that's why I think maybe we need better transportation.
No, but no. How did they get there?
I'm not finding your poor life choices.
Yeah, like how did they get there? What did they decide?
And how many of them are already on EBT?
Bring that closer.
And qualified for other things, and still are doing that. I gotta know.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just like at work, I'm not going to reward somebody for their inefficiencies.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to give somebody overtime because they can't get the job done at the regular time. I'm going to end up having to pay somebody else to come in and finish the job. But I'm not going to reward them.
Sometimes people's inefficiencies in the real world come from
Okay.
laws and things that once something has happened.
No. Stop. Once something's happened, everything boils down to accountability and responsibility. Mm-hmm. So until people look at their own damn actions and go, I put myself in this position. This is what I've done. Right? They're never going, they'll keep blaming it. Oh, well, no, I ain't got license. No, I ain't got this. You put yourself in this predicament. Figure a way to scrap your ass out of it. It's not going to be an easy road, but the more you dwell on it and need somebody else to bail you out, you're never going to get bailed out.
You're just putting more dirt on your head. You're just staying in the pity puddle. Like it's not, we've been there.
The hell we're trying to find another bus. Find a way to, why does the guy? So you've known this guy running to work. How long has he been without license?
Couple years.
Why does he not have license?
It had to do with DUIs, but
no, hold on.
Those were bad decisions at that time. This person is a couple years into it, has completely reformed those habits, completely turned around.
Okay.
And he still can't. He still.
So if I rape you,
he can't.
No, hold on.
It has
if
to
I
do
rape
with.
you today,
it has to do with how much
if 3
interlock
years
costs.
go by.
It has to do with how much money has to be put into him being allowed to drive.
No, because we paid that too. It's expensive.
That's really what it boils down to. So
but
it's not because he doesn't want to do it and he's lazy sitting at home like,
no,
I don't need to get a car.
You're taking it the wrong way. I know how much interlock costs. It's very expensive. You have to have a car to put it in that's in your name.
Insurance that's through the roof.
Insurance.
Yeah, you gotta have an FR44, which I had.
You know that when you decide to drink and drive. You know this.
And it wasn't.
Obviously,
this person had more than one.
This isn't a shock that I got caught.
This person had more than one.
Yeah, there's two.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I had to guess, I'd say he got two in probably a shorter period of time. It wasn't like got one
not
and then
exactly
10 years
positive.
later.
Yeah, well, not that. No, definitely not. That.
Might have been 3 years later.
Yeah, something
got his
like
license back and did it again.
Right.
I don't feel sorry for you. I didn't feel sorry for myself. I fucked up.
I hope he's saving. I hope he's working his tail off to save.
It sucks. It's a grind.
It's expensive and it stinks.
Well,
but I can't say that. Well, it's not fair. I can't say that. We knew that was going to happen. We knew this was coming. We knew the ASAP classes were happening. The AA meetings are happening. I mean, but again, those places you can be in a community. You know, maybe he could have, you know, if you go to the Rebos and stuff, you end up working with people that'll help you out, that'll, you know, because you form a community that helps you do these things. It sucks, and it's expensive, and it stinks, but you knew that when you decided to drink and drive.
Right.
It sucks.
But if things were more affordable, it would be easier to get back
Why
up
would
from
they make
that
it more affordable? They want you to not drink and drive. They're gonna make it as expensive and as awful as possible. Like, it's like, if you go out tonight, we're gonna do all the horrible things, and I'm gonna throw away your favorite teddy bear, and you're gonna be like, do I want to test my parents? Because I know that this is the repercussion coming. They didn't hide it from you. It wasn't like I didn't have any clue I was gonna get restricted. Oh no, you know this is coming, and you did it anyways. You have to.
Have you ever spent a night in jail?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah? Like one night or?
One night.
It was probably the worst,
Worst
right?
night of my life, yeah.
Okay, do you know why that is?
Because I couldn't go
No, not
do
why
anything.
you did it, why it's the worst night ever.
Because I couldn't do anything.
They put you in that little cell,
Yeah.
and there's like a shitter and two like bunk beds, right?
It sucked.
For a
Time
reason,
dragged
so
forever.
you won't come back.
Seriously, okay, so
And I'm not going back.
Yeah, right?
like I said, I've made tons of mistakes early on, and seriously, that when you're in booking, it is the worst experience. Like
That's all I was ever
You
in.
can't wait. Like if you're actually know you're about to go get pushed somewhere else, you're like, get me out of this place. Hurry up and put me in population or whatever.
Yeah.
Level 2, level 1, go put me in the mod, whatever. Get me out of here because this sucks.
Yeah.
And then they make that miserable because so many people come in for a DUI or a drunk public and little infractions, right? That probably it's not even when they go to court going to get them locked up for the first time. Now you start stringing things together, yeah, you will. But that overnight stay is supposed to be that shitty, so you go, I don't ever want to do this again. And they can let you out a lot earlier, but no, it's like proving a point.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
next one.
Alright. Number 4 we're on, right? Alright.
I'm gonna railroad you on that. I'm not done with that subject. It's not even about the transportation. It's about the accountability and responsibility.
Yeah, I don't trust the government to spend the money. That's really what it's about. I don't trust the government to make things better. To make individual
I
lives
thought this
better.
was a game. I thought this was a game.
Life isn't a game, son.
Oh, yeah.
The game is to figure out whether or not
Yeah, right.
you're liberal and I'm conservative. And who, because like coming into this, I have an idea who I was going to vote for on Tuesday, but
No, I have no idea.
we'll have to see.
Hold on, I needed this. I need to find
I got a feeling it's still not going to be a lefty.
Alright, here we go. Alright. Let's do, since that was so fun and light, why don't we go ahead and do immigration policies?
All right.
That's number 4.
Trump!
Alright.
Can I vote for him? I already did.
Alright. So, we've got, alright, so we're gonna go, this will be number 1, 2,
We've got it all. Tyson's Corner Center.
3, and then, alright, so number 1, alright, now this isn't just, this is immigration, as a whole, right? Alright, opposes measures by the federal government which he feels would reduce Virginians' security. Opposes the settlement of refugees from Syria. Alright, that's number 1. Number 2. Opposes action taken by the federal government against Virginia students without legal residency. Supports issuing driver's licenses to immigrants without legal status. Supports strengthening anti-discrimination measures. Number 3. Supports prioritizing law enforcement in the budgetary process. Supports fostering positive relationships between communities and law enforcement. You don't really have much on the other. Alright. Number 4. Opposes measures that would limit entry to the state based on race, religion, or country of origin. But also...
I don't like the country of Oregon either.
Yeah. Alright? But number 4 also says, opposes any measure that might be taken by the federal government that are potentially harmful to LGBT rights. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that one in there because I feel it's important. That's number 4.
Okay.
Number 1 opposes federal government reduce Virginia securities in the resettlement program. Number 2.
So number 1 does not want settlements.
Nope.
Okay.
Well,
Number 2?
That being a big issue for our area, that actually for me, I go with 1 because that's what matters the most to me out of all of this.
So you're good.
Yeah.
You guys are not even gonna argue this out.
What, you choose 1? Or does she
Well-
just know you that well?
I
Yeah.
thought he said 1. No, you didn't. I'll read him again. You wanted me to. Okay, 1 was opposes federal government reduce Virginia security and opposes the settlement program. Number 2 opposes actions taken by the federal government against Virginia students without legal residency.
Yeah.
Supports issuing driver's licenses to
Yeah, fuck
immigrants
that guy.
without-
Yeah, right.
Number 3 supports
I agree with that.
prioritizing law enforcement and stuff like that. Supports fostering positive relationships.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, that
I
has
didn't-
nothing to
that's
do
what I
with.
had under that.
Like
section.
we're having like cops and robber picnics.
There you go.
I don't know.
L'Oreal Park.
I mean, I was definitely looking at 1.
Yeah.
But number 4, that's the one that was like, wait, you oppose measures that would limit entry to the state based on race, religion, or country of origin. But
Well, those
you
regulations
also
don't
oppose any
exist,
measure
right?
that might be taken by the federal government that are potentially harmful to LGBT rights.
But these.
That comes up a lot when you're talking about the resettlement programs because Muslims and gays, sometimes there's an issue there. So,
Yeah, they want to throw them off buildings.
as the rhetoric continues, that usually pops up. That seems like a contradiction to
Yeah.
me that I'm like, what are you saying?
Mhm.
Seems like you're pandering a little bit
Mhm.
to all sides here.
We love everybody, but nobody equally.
But nobody, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with 1.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were really going to have more of a debate on that. All right.
Well, I mean that.
Oh, I'm glad he sees it my way. We're good.
I don't think that we need to have settlements in our area. We already have. We don't need to bring in more.
We have enough trouble with what
Yeah,
we've got. We were
exactly.
just talking about homeless
Exactly.
people. We've got enough trouble.
Yeah. Where's their settlement?
Yeah, it's behind.
Take care of
They
our
don't
own.
deserve one,
It's
do they?
behind-
They don't deserve one.
It's behind the Lee's Hill. Well, this is the sad part, is that they will get more and preferred treatment and housing over the people that are living in the tents behind Food Lion.
From like our 3 homeless shelters that exist.
And you're like,
No, they'll set them up in like some type of housing and shit.
yeah. They'll set them up in a housing. Like, they'll
And
clear
already
out
put 'em on the
an
welfare
apartment
and
complex
everything.
and put them all in there that's all paid by the government. Or what they do is they go to the landlord that
Mhm.
owns that building.
And
Is
they get a
Yeah.
write off.
It's a voucher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get a voucher for
But
that.
that in our state, that program has been frozen for a couple of years.
The voucher?
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
Well, speaking of illegal immigration and then the refugee thing, it's a kind of a side note. And I think I might have brought it up on another video, but everybody wants to call Trump's travel ban a Muslim ban and everything, which is total BS if you actually read it and everything. But since he's proposed that, and the courts have put a halt to it for the moment. Last month, it was up, refugees and stuff like that coming over was up 40%. And it's like, that's...
It worries me. It's a concern because, they talk about, obviously,
Now,
with vetting and different
on
stuff
the other
like that,
thing, ICE is actually kind of kicking ass and, moving through people. And people are now self-deporting. Kind of like Trump predicted. He's like, once we get the ball rolling, people are going to say, the hell with this shit. It ain't worth it.
Yeah.
And we are seeing that.
Well, that's on a different immigration issue. I mean, it concerns me because you see what happened? Was it DC 2 days ago? Did they ever say who did the truck incident?
Okay, so
I was just gonna ask.
they won't come out and say exactly.
I mean, it could have been a drunk, because it's DC. It could have been a drunk, at 9 o'clock at night.
No, okay, so
I don't know.
no, the there was a bus here. The truck's going here. He's in this lane. On the side here, there was police on bicycles, and then
Right.
some pedestrians over here. The guy had to swerve around the bus to collide with them, and that's what he did. He swerved around the bus and just plowed through them and kept on driving.
Yeah.
So they're not calling it anything. They're not releasing the guy's name at the moment, at least as far as I know.
Details about person.
Or there was a thing where they were investigating whether or not it could be a terrorist thing, but that was it.
Yeah, but if name is Jim Bob and it doesn't fit the narrative, then
So what you do see though,
If it was
there's
white male, I'd be out.
well, yeah, there's
yeah.
a small. I've seen one picture, and I'm not sure that it's definitely from that scene, but apparently they were saying that it was from that scene. It was a black guy
circulating the internet, right?
with a beard, and
A black guy with the beard, so we can automatically assume, because of the media, that must be a black Muslim man.
potentially.
Hold on a minute.
It
Are you
fits-
kidding me right now? The media would say that, something totally else.
Well, the media
They
is
were-
saying doing what the media
They
does.
were like, those trucks, regulations on trucks.
Trucks. Well, they're calling them the peace trucks.
Trucks kill
The
people.
trucks of
the trucks
peace.
of peace. No, what's going on in the UK and all over while people are arguing about Kathy Griffin's dumb joke and 2 scoops of ice cream? There's been deaths and bombings and there's dead people all over the world. If you've been paying attention, stuff like that makes you jumpy. It does. Because it's like, well, it's DC. Could have been a drunk. It could have been. Disgruntled employees. I get it. People are jumpy, though.
The fact that
And
the
we're
guy
like,
swerved and
what's
plowed
going
through
on?
and
Yeah, it
kept
was
going,
deliberate.
it looks like it.
Right.
It's perceived that way. And
But
rightfully
obviously
so.
you don't want to further flame this stuff. But these types of incidences, especially when it's all over the news and you're seeing just bodies and the stabbing. And
Let's
it's
face
just
it,
like,
they
oh,
didn't want to
man.
call the Orlando shooting
Right.
a terrorist.
No, they said
Action.
it was which was all debunked. They did that whole special with his gay lover.
It was like a hate crime, and yeah, he
Debunked.
hated himself and all that.
Debunked. And then they lost his wife for a year. What? Yeah. See, this is why I don't trust these people. Now I'm gonna keep my guns. I'll do it myself, but I don't trust you people. You guys are idiots. Anyways, moving on. Let's go veterans. Let's go vets.
Okay,
The Virginia is home to
many veterans.
stations and stuff like that all over the place.
VFWs everywhere.
Well, we've got Fort AP Hill, you've got Quantico, you've got Fort Belvoir. You've
I
got
think
the
Belvoir
Norfolk,
closed down.
the Belvoir. Well, there's one up there as well, but it's DC, so you've got military
Yeah.
stuff everywhere. So this one comes up a lot. We have a lot of that.
We got the Pentagon.
And
we got
then current members as well. So let's see, we've got supports increasing veterans' access to healthcare, education, and job-seeking opportunities. We're good with number 1. Number 2, supports policies which would aid veterans and their families. Number 2. We've got supports extending similar legislation to other returning veterans, like former medics find civilian employment by allowing them to qualify for EMT positions. That's number 3. And supports increasing veterans' access to healthcare, higher education, and housing. They're all pretty generic.
I'm gonna go with 1 again, but they all pretty much sound like they're on board with helping out vets.
Yeah.
Well, it is Virginia. I mean, they'd be stupid otherwise. I mean,
Yeah, who? I mean, how many people actually go? Fuck them. I mean, their
not if
policies
you wanna get
afterwards.
elected.
Yeah,
Not if you want to get elected.
they're gonna say that. I mean, their policies might actually afterwards.
I'll go
Right.
with number 2.
Number 2.
You just want to be different.
I mean, that one's got
There was more words in it, and you like that. The longer the words.
Number 2 was just supports
Which
the family.
policies which would
policies
aid
that would
veterans
aid
and their
veterans
families.
and their families. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. I only got the 5. That's all I got. You guys want to get into some hairier issues?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Let's go with let's go with number 6. All right. Marijuana.
Legalize it.
Legalize it.
Legalize it.
All right. I've
Right.
got.
Well, especially for medicinal
Right.
purposes. I'm not saying let any fucking kid smoke some dope. You know.
No, but just like tobacco is regulated, it can be regulated as well.
One thing I do, me personally, I don't smoke weed. I don't really care if people do smoke weed. However, I hear tons of people legalize it. Oh, weed should be legal, and it's like
The tax money created from it can be beneficial.
it could be beneficial, but people complain about DUIs and stuff like that. Like, okay, you can smoke dope at your house, but you still can't smoke and drive.
Yeah.
And in order to legalize it, they would have to have a way to knowing that. Now, most pot smokers smoke and drive. Most pot smokers have it with them. Like, they're not going to get a break in the legality when it comes to that. Okay, weed's legal. Yeah, you can't drink a beer while you're driving.
Yeah. Beer's legal.
Yeah. Now, you might not get arrested for having a bag of dope on you anymore.
May fine you. California, I think fine.
Well, I mean, how
But
do you
if
get it
it's
from the
legal-
bodega to your house?
Yeah. If it's legal, and
Well, years ago, I think California had a fine.
Yeah.
They had a fine. If you're
But there would probably be something like you can only have so much on you at one time.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's how
what it was,
Colorado's
a fine.
law is as well.
Right.
It's like a quarter or something.
All right. So I've got I've got the exact same statement for 3 different people. One person, I don't know what their policy is on that. I do have one person made a quote that it was decriminalize it because kids shouldn't go to jail and ruin their life for doing something stupid.
I agree with that statement.
So that's the only one I could find an actual statement of that one.
But that's just decriminalizing. That doesn't help the people who medically choose to go with
Yeah.
marijuana
That's all
over
I got for you
pharmaceutical
on
drugs.
Well, okay, so
So I can't really give you a vote.
when it
for
comes to
the same thing.
medicinal usage, though, I can't just sit there.
Those
and-
are really the people to look out for, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I can't say my back hurts. I want to smoke some dope. I need a doctor's thing for that.
Right.
You know, so that's where that comes in. You know,
Well,
you would,
that's where maybe you have like a license program, like they do, and when you have that card, it allows you. You're obviously old enough, and there's a reason that the doctor feels like this person doesn't want to take 8 Advil a day. This person would rather smoke 2 joints a day. If that's what that person would rather do, they should be able to choose that and go get that license from a doctor if the doctor thinks that would be beneficial
now,
to the
you
patient.
can get what are the letters? CBD. It's the
Chronic.
oil. It's
Oh.
sold as an essential oil, and it can be shipped
Yeah. I
all
don't know.
over. They've strained out the THC part,
Mhm.
and so it's sold as an essential
Yeah,
oil.
I
It's
have
good for
actually seen
pain
that. Yeah.
and whatnot, but you can actually get it shipped. You can find it
Mhm.
online from reputable places from like Colorado, with, like
Yeah.
I guess a distillery out there. You can get it brought to you. So that's a way they're kind of getting around it, which I think is cool. I think it's really cool
Yeah.
that it's on the market and out.
I agree with I'm not saying decriminalize it like 100%. There should be some type of laws, but I'm definitely for
Yeah, I don't want
lowering
people
it.
smoking blunts on the beach while I'm with my kids.
No,
You know, like
Yeah.
I would be furious.
Right.
Like, dude, seriously?
Right.
Secondhand smoke, yo. I'm
Yeah.
a smoker. Like I stand over in the smoker section,
Right.
you know, with the dirty butts and it stinks over there, but I get up and move.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's have a little.
Because that's courteous.
correct.
That's the right thing
right.
to do.
So, yeah, I do think there should be some boundaries on this one, but so I guess that one doesn't go.
I don't think they
everybody's
should
box.
have it as high as because they have it up there ranked with like cocaine and stuff.
And heroin.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
the
it
same
was-
class.
I mean, if you really go back to the history of it, I mean, they
It's-
misclassified it and blah 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 blah. 'Cause
Yeah.
Before it was a huge. It was like an export and stuff, and it was used for all types of things, like ropes. It's like some of the strongest in the world. They made a car out of it.
Yeah.
All types of things. And I think in Virginia, you think of a good portion is farmlands, struggling.
Yeah.
Right? Like we were talking last night about farms.
We're also one
Why
of
is
the
this
big
cheaper?
tobacco.
Oh, I can't. Why is it more expensive for me to go right there? I live right next to a farm, but I can't afford their corn. I have to go to the grocery store. It's crazy. So
I think you would get drug dealers out.
I do.
Yeah.
And I think you would have a boom in the economy, like you were talking about other ways. But especially
Philip Morris
here in
would be bigger.
Virginia, yeah, I think so. But I think your smaller ones too, if they're allowed to put a portion of their farms and different stuff, especially if it's going to medical,
Right.
and really can open that up, some of your farmers are really going to benefit.
Right.
And if they're making money over here to help medical advancements on this side, then maybe your produce is going to be lower. And, I don't know, it's a guess, but
Right.
it's like, this could really help
Right.
our struggling farms with their regulations and the water usage and all that stuff that they go through. Like, this could really, really help Virginia, and I think that would be a really positive move.
All right, so mark me down for one of them.
They all said the same thing. I saw the headline.
I'll go with
and I
number
went
one.
for it.
I like one.
One because he has a comment,
No,
or no, just supports it.
just supports it.
I've been giving them in different orders.
Okay.
They're not all. It's not always 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not reading them in that order. So you've got supports to criminalize, supports to criminalize, and supports to criminalize with a statement. That's what I got.
Well, the one guy gave a statement. I got him.
That I know for sure. I don't
Right.
know. The other guys might.
Yeah, I'll take the statement as well.
Don't kill me on
Whatever
this.
number that one was.
Don't kill me on this.
Just mark me down for one of them. The conservative guy.
All right. Here's one that. Well, this one's gonna be a little bit obvious. 2 of them don't have a statement on. 2 of them do.
Okay. It's either some real right wing or real left wing shit.
All right.
If he likes it, I don't.
All right. Opposes efforts to overturn Virginia's right to work legislation, suggesting that lawmakers should not pick fights that we perhaps can't win right now.
Opposes.
Efforts to overturn Virginia's right to work legislation, suggesting that lawmakers should not pick fights that we perhaps can't win right now.
Okay, what's the next guy say?
Opposes measures that would weaken Virginia's wage theft protections. Opposes right to work laws. Supports harsher penalties for businesses which misclassify workers as independent contractors. Right. That was more of a right to work because we're a right to work state.
So if I understand number one right, he wants to keep it a right to work state.
He opposes efforts to overturn it because he doesn't think they can win that right now. Number 2, opposes right to work laws, flat out, and wants to take it to the legislation.
So it sounds like number one likes the idea, but it's not on his book of things to do. It's not on his agenda.
Yeah,
Okay.
And the second guy will overturn. Wants it overturned.
wants it overturned.
Well, all right. So for us that don't exactly know what right to work means, what does that mean?
Right to work, well, I'll tell you the dirty part of it. Right to work means that, like, your
You
job,
can be hired and fired for
you can be
whatever.
hired and fired for whatever reason your employer finds acceptable. That's it. There's no, nothing to save you, right? Now, how it works to your benefit is that you work off of a meritocracy, right? If you work harder and better than somebody who's worked there 5, 10 years longer than you, you will get moved up before they will.
Mm.
If you're a union state, right?
And that's what ends up happening.
This is what ends happening. You gotta wait for somebody to die or retire before you're gonna get that spot. It doesn't matter how long you've been there, they were there first. Unions were
You've heard
by
about the
seniority.
unions enough.
Yeah.
Right?
I think a right to work state is the right way to go, though.
Because
Yeah.
now, a lot of people don't understand this. You can be a union store or company in a right to work state.
Yeah.
Tennessee,
I mean, we have giants.
Tennessee,
They do
Kentucky,
that.
Virginia, North Carolina. We're all.
But
I
I'm
believe
thinking
we're
more
all right to
along
work.
the lines of if I was the employer, I would like to be able to hire or fire somebody
Yes.
based on
To my
what
discretion.
You look,
yeah.
Right, like
Yeah.
you look at the hollowing out of Detroit because they're union states.
Uh-huh.
State. You look at the hollowing out.
The
That's
companies are just moving the hell
they
out of
just
there
moved.
quick.
Now, some of them, yes, they moved to Mexico or Japan, yes.
Yeah.
some companies move to Tennessee. They build cars in Tennessee. They build Kias in Georgia. I think it's BMWs in Tennessee. That's where the plant is. They move there. They move to right-to-work states because they don't have unions to deal with. Now you can say, well, they're not getting paid as much as. Well, their cost of living is lower too because they don't need their houses. They can buy a house for less than you have because you're not having something driving up the market.
I oppose.
I'm gonna go on the NA one since neither one of those candidates I like. They're schmucks.
So they want to get rid of. Both are wanting to get rid of the right to work state.
One guy
One
definitely
would take
does.
the opportunity if he could, and the other guy's like, yes, I'm fighting for this.
Okay, well, I sadly have to agree with Cory
Yeah, we're gonna
and
go
just
with
go
the
in
other
the
ones.
NA box.
Right? Alright. What we're gonna go with the NA box since we don't have choices here. Is it?
Or you can put me on any of the other two boxes.
No, that wouldn't be fair. Alright. How about you wanna do some more?
Yeah.
How about
I think I've aced this so far.
Oh yeah,
yeah?
thought it was a game, not a test.
Yeah,
Am I winning?
I don't want that. I don't care about that. What about taxes?
You pay them, then you die.
Yeah, I really don't know much about taxes.
Taxes. No, you don't want taxes. 'Cause that's been a big one that's been going around on what's going on.
I
with
just say don't make them any
taxes.
worse for me, please.
Well,
That's
let's
what I
take,
say.
we've got one guy who supports grocery tax exemptions for low-income families. Opposes the other guy's proposed tax increases.
But what is taking away the $1.32 tax really helping that family?
Well,
But
most
let
likely
me
they're not
also
paying tax
tell you-
anyways because they got EBT.
There you go.
Yeah, they're not anyway. So
There you
it doesn't
go.
matter.
So that guy's what is he even talking about?
Yeah, right.
He's talking about putting more people on the EBT.
Oh, great,
That's what it sounds like.
great.
All right. This person who
More
supports
steamed
the grocery
crabs.
tax exemption for low-income family and opposes the other guy's proposed tax increases. He also supports raising the minimum wage.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair because then my pay that I've worked really hard for, and somebody who does less work than me gets up near that's upsetting.
Yeah, because
Because I'm not gonna get an
you've grown
increase.
up
I'm not the
in a
minimum
right to
wage.
work state where meritocracy matters.
That's okay, but if I have to, I'm gonna interject
I'm just
here.
teasing with you. I'm just
I'm
messing
gonna
with you.
interject because it's no offense. I think you made the right decision to say no to that, but for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
Because it was a me.
You know, I still think that has
It has something to do with it,
I
yes.
still think it's an excellent
But
point.
there's a
when you
great,
kinda
there's a
think about
much
these
bigger thing to that than just, well, this new guy's gonna be closer to pay than me, and I worked hard. Yes.
Well, as a worker, that is as a normal person.
Yeah, when you're
That's what I
valued,
care about.
Yeah.
Okay, I if I'm with the company for a very long time, and all of a sudden this person who is hired in at entry level is $1 or even $2 away from me, because I've been maybe with this company a very long time, and they're right there with me. I'm there
And
40
you're
hours a
training
week.
them.
Yeah, busting it all the time, 40 hours a week, and they're there slacking off for their 30 hours a week, making only $2 less than me. That makes me not very happy about what I'm making. And if they were making less, then I feel like I'm making what I deserve to be making.
So you want to keep the little man down too?
No, this person needs to work and earn it. They don't just need to be given the extra $3 or $4 from their entry level pay to be brought up to where I am.
I agree with that, but you're looking at it still as a inner thing. Like if someone gets close to you,
Well, because these things affect me, and that's
No,
when
they're-
I'm thinking about
their
it. I
pay-
think about how it affects
their
me.
pay does not affect you.
Their pay doesn't affect
it
me.
affects you only
You're
because
right.
you let
You're
it
right
affect
that it
you.
doesn't affect me, but what it does affect is my work morale, my work ethic.
So you affect the possibility of you moving up because you're going to be a shittier worker because you're jealous that this guy makes almost as much money as you
No.
and has worked less.
No, I'm just saying that.
No, that's
where's
exactly
the
what you just said.
incentive? Where's the incentive to be that hard worker when somebody is just handed the money and didn't have to work for it?
I would agree with you there.
Yeah,
I
but
think it.
no. Okay, so
Sorry.
I think the idea of everybody getting the flat 15 that's an idiotic position. Yes, and you're gonna fuck up people. So what do you do with the people that are already making 15 and are in higher positions? I get that, and yes, it's gonna rub people the wrong way. But there's so much bigger points to that. Like it's gonna really
break down the math on that one.
break down the math on which part.
We were discussing the fight for 15. It came to Richmond and whatnot, right? And that's been big in the governor's race. And first off, in a truly free market system, and I understand you have to have some stuff like anti-monopoly. I get it. I get the involvement, right? The federal government shouldn't dictate to businesses what they should pay. Right?
That's true.
If you have a crappy business, people will not stay. You will have a high turnover rate. Eventually, you will fail.
The
They're
free
gonna
market
go
will choose.
where somebody's offering better stuff, right? You're gonna go where you're getting better stuff for a better price, right?
Right.
We're all consumer deal makers. Should be exactly the same when looking for a job. Now, the Washington Post was quoted as saying, "Well, raising the minimum wage doesn't matter that much because it only raises what did we say, 1 cent for every $1 it goes up or whatever, wasn't that something like that?" Now I'm trying to pull it off the top of my head from a few weeks ago.
No, it said
No, for every 10 cents. 1 cent for every 10 cents it goes
1 cent for every 10 cents.
up. Okay. Now, so we did the math on this. Like, calculator got it out. The average grocery basket is about 26 items.
26 items.
All right. If right now, minimum wage is $7.25. If you bumped it up to 15, that's $7.75. That means per item would go up almost 78 cents. That means the exact same 26 items that you bought yesterday, tomorrow will cost you an extra $20, almost $21. How does that help anybody who's already
Right.
struggling?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I know that people go, that means you want people to be poor. I totally don't.
Yeah.
Like, I knew, like you feel the argument.
But not only that,
And it's like, no, I really don't. If you have got experience and you are dependable and reliable, why are you fighting with McDonald's? You are awesome. You deserve more. Go get a better job. You know what you should be voting for? Not government to come and strong arm somebody.
To give us more money.
That's like socialism and communism and fascism. Don't stop using the government as your police officers to strong arm to get what you want. You should be voting for things that are saying, I'm going to allow more businesses so you can take your work experience and go, you know what? I can make a better burger than McDonald's. And I'm going to be rich and famous.
I'll be the next Papa
And I'm going to
John.
hire people at $15 an hour. And I'm going to have the best place in town.
And here's the thing,
And everybody will be
if
like,
you can
yes,
afford
I'm the man.
to
Yes.
pay people 10, 15, whatever, entry level, great. And you're going to probably succeed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But I also think, we live in
Now, a rural area.
yeah.
Yeah. Our cost of living isn't nearly as high.
And, well, there's not a ton of places, but if you make these mom and pop stores pay their associates,
True.
there's no expansion. Most likely they're going to fold,
Right.
because they can't afford it. They can't afford the Obamacare, and they damn sure can't afford the $15 an hour.
Another point that I feel should be made is that the same places that you fight against that should be paying more money, Walmart, McDonald's, you see the same
Yeah.
big bad guys out there. They have enough stores, enough money, enough lawyers, and enough accountants to not deal with you. They will automate. They'll just shut it down like, fine, suffer, and you will all lose your jobs. Why? They can afford to lose you.
Mm-hmm.
You have no power. If you have competition, if you have more jobs than workers, you will get a higher wage because they're like, crap, I got to get somebody in here to
Yeah.
fix this stuff. quick.
Yeah.
Well, not
Why
only
isn't
that,
anybody coming? All right, well, maybe I can't offer more money, but I can shop around and I can get a health insurance plan. I can get, because you used to have that. I can offer paid family leave time. I can offer these things to get employees, and they will be loyal and happier, and I will have a better company.
And that's how these people should think.
So
Definitely.
as much as I know people want to scream, how do you want people to stay poor? They're just, and it's like, no, dude, I'm telling you, you're looking in the wrong direction. It's like a bait and switch. They're trying to be like, oh, let me buy your vote for $15. They're gonna buy your soul for $15.
Well,
You're worth more than $15. You're worth more.
well,
Let's do this.
One of the other questions I pose to people is, okay, so you're making $15 an hour, right? And you're not happy with probably the amount of work you have to do now for the amount of money that you make. So when you're paying you're getting paid $15 an hour. We already know that the CEOs aren't going to take a loss. The shareholders can't take a loss. They have an obligation
So
to
the
them.
public is paying.
So the public's going to pay it, and so is the associate. The
You're right.
associate now, who's already disgruntled, making probably $9, $10 an hour, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, is disgruntled because they're doing fries and trying to help out with drive-through, right? And you got a guy on burgers and salads, and you got a cashier that's kind of helping out, right? Well, that's going to turn into probably like two people. And you're getting paid $15 an hour, but now you're manning the fry
You're
station,
twice work,
the
and a lot
sodas.
of times you're not keeping those hours either.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's killing you. And then a lot of times, at least what we've seen with the economic kind of pressure when it fell, what they got rid of was those middle class jobs.
Yeah.
They took
Exactly.
those right off the top. The higher ups, they kept their jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kept all their stuff.
So
And
you
they
still
got
have
rid
a
of
store
full-time
manager, but you're not going to have a
employees.
shift leader.
They got rid of your full time employees. They got rid of your higher paid employees, and right? And they're like, oh, we'll just make all those part time.
So another thing
It sucks.
I pose is, okay, this is supposed to help the poverty-stricken people, right?
Yeah.
So I've been on food stamps before, and when I got to $15 an hour, I didn't get any food stamps.
You
So
get zero.
are they going to up the amount they're going to help people out, even though that this is going to make things cost more money? Or is it automatically just going to kick everybody off of food stamps? You're not getting that help anymore, which a lot of people still need when they're making $15 an hour.
Especially if groceries go up $20 a basket.
So yeah.
Are you going to get that assistance?
How much is now your babysitter going to be?
But the thing is it's like...
It's just this trickle up effect of like, oh my god.
And then this is where I talk about seeing everything through. Don't be the first thought. $15 sounds great to make
Yeah.
when you're only making 10 or 9.
Yeah.
But you don't know the outcome. So your groceries are going up. You're losing your food stamps. You're going to have to do
Your
more for
housing's gonna
less.
Go up. Your cost of living.
Your
is
cost of
going
living,
up.
and your
Electricity's
dollar.
gonna go up.
But your
Everything's
dollar.
gonna go up. Yeah.
The
The dollar
and
isn't worth as much.
The dollar isn't worth as much.
It's not worth as much money because now you've created inflation. If you
But it's bullshit inflation.
yeah.
Like it's not like people are making more because we're expanding as a country and business is booming. Business isn't booming,
Right.
so you're making the dollar worth less.
But again, it's like, why are you shaking down these big companies? Like, dude, let's go start your own. Be voting for people who are going, I want to lower the business, a streamlined business proposal so that we can get more people doing their own thing. The majority of Virginians are, the economy is run by self-business. I looked that statistic up. It's like a, we're not quite 50-50, but we're pushing it. And that's a bad thing. You think it would like, well, what? No, it makes a big difference. You want your economy to be run off of self-employed people, off of mom and pop stores, off of your businesses. They are the true backs of what will make your state or break your state. If it's just a bunch of government stuff, they're just giving you the handouts. It's never going to trickle
You're
down.
gonna
and you're
end up
never
being
gonna get it.
bankrupt.
Yeah, and your state will go in the red. All right. So the other guy says he supports middle class tax cuts, supports a
What did the first guy say? I've already
supports
forgot.
grocery tax exemptions for low income families.
Okay, I remember that
But
guy.
then I also said that he also supports a minimum wage increase. Not necessarily the 15,
Yeah.
but a minimum wage increase.
Okay.
Well, so I'm like, well, then there's no low income
Yeah.
families, or they're all really working part-time jobs.
Yeah.
Like, you're not helping.
Even
But
with it
anyways.
raised, all those people are still low income.
Yeah. Because they're probably
But
working
they might
half
not be
as many
looked
hours.
at that like that.
But in the government's eyes, they're still low income in reality, but government doesn't have to help them anymore.
Right. Supports a grad, and that's only if they get to keep the hours that they had before.
Right. Yeah.
Because that isn't a guarantee.
No, companies all the time want
Yeah.
part-time.
Now they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, they want
there's no
somebody hired to
competition.
work for 12 to 16 hours a week.
There's no competition to make them act right. You know?
Okay, so the next guy
Supports
says.
a gradual 1% increase in the tax rate on income of $500,000 or more. Supports a gradual 1.5% increase in the tax rate on incomes of $1 million or more. And let's see. I'm trying to find the other two.
Uh-oh.
I don't have it. Oh, barnacles. Sugar sticks. And I can only give you 2 of them. Boo, 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 boo. Alright, so you got those 2 in your head, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Shh. Oops. Hold on. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick.
I'm thinking NA.
Alright. Okay, one of them wants a program of tax cuts to include the first reduction in the state's income tax since its introduction in 1972, and a measure that would encourage Virginia's counties and independent cities to reduce tax rates on businesses. The other one wants a larger than that reduction in the state's income tax and wants to eliminate the income tax for individuals making less than $17,000. That's the poverty level in Virginia. I don't know what it is. In other states, that's average. Annually, and instituting a single rate at which to tax all income over. So it would be a flat rate, right? He wants a flat rate, which eventually wants to make it so that there isn't an income tax. That's the goal. The future goal would be no income tax. Right? But also wants to eliminate income taxes in areas that border Tennessee, so that businesses will want to go there because Tennessee is whooping our butt. Like I said, that's where the car companies have gone. They're going to Tennessee, kicking our tails. That's
I'll go with
Virginians.
that guy.
All right. And then, all right. So, there's that. I gave you 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm gonna go with 4. I was liking 3, but I like 4 a little bit better.
4 gets rid of the income tax completely.
That
Eventually.
is his eventual goal. Is his eventual goal to just eliminate it completely?
But get rid of it for the poverty people, 17,000 or less.
What that would do, if anybody doesn't understand that, is that you wouldn't get necessarily a tax return of your income like that.
Get
You're
the
still
money
going to
then.
the EIC. You're still
Yeah.
going to get those things. You're going to get it every week. You're going to get to keep it.
Yeah, I guess I would go with number 4 too.
Number 4. All right. All right. Is there any other questions you have for these candidates?
Any of them talk about abortion or any of that crap?
Oh yeah, you wanted to go there, didn't you? I was trying to stay away from it. I was trying to play nice. All right. Supports taking action to reduce the rate of unintended pregnancies. Supports increased access to adoption services and foster agencies. All right. This one. All right, hold on. Where is it? We're just gonna read it. Supports reduction in funding to Planned Parenthood. Supports increased regulation of abortion. Supports a definition of life from the moment of conception. And give me a second. I'll find the other one. All right. Supports overturning legislation requiring ultrasounds, counseling, and a waiting period prior to an abortion. Supports expansion of women's health centers to areas lacking them. Everybody's, what? Sorry. Promises to veto all measures that would limit access to reproductive care. Well, that sounds like a word salad. Supports increased access to contraceptives and continued access to abortion. Opposes measures barring abortion from being covered by healthcare plans sold on the state exchange. Supports providing access to long-acting reversible contraceptives to women who could not otherwise afford them. Long-acting reversible. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with 2. I think.
Number 2.
What was number 2?
You want me to read back number 2? Number 2 was supports reduction in funding to Planned Parenthood, supports increased regulation of abortion, supports a definition of life from the moment of conception. That was number 2. Number 1 was supports taking action to
supports
reduce...
life at the moment of conception.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he wants
supports
a timeline.
the definition. Supports the definition of.
So, what does that have to do with law?
Well,
Because the Constitution is for life, liberty, and
Right.
pursuit of happiness.
Right.
So if you can signify when life starts, then you're constitutionally protected. This isn't a religious debate.
So
This
they're
is a
saying
constitutional debate.
define it.
He would like to define life
when life actually
from the
starts.
moment of conception.
So he would like to say that from the moment, then that is life. But even though cut Planned Parenthood, this person's still allowing for abortion clinics to exist,
Yes.
because in the second line, this person states that there's just more.
There needs to be more regulation.
More regulation to it.
Yeah, but Planned Parenthood shouldn't be. The
Yeah, I
cut
do.
the funding there.
I mean, I do agree with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 2.
2?
Yeah, because
Alright.
I was going with 2 as well, but I just after
Wanted to be
hearing
sure.
others, I wanted to go back and hear it.
That's okay. Bring it as you want. Alright. Alright, we did that. We did abortion. You want to tackle anything else? Anything else? Anything else that you're like, oh, I'm wondering.
I think we covered.
I mean, yeah, that's
I think that's about all of them.
Yeah.
tally up the scores.
Alright.
I think I'm definitely on
6. Alright. 1, 1, and 1. Alright. Do you guys want to know who you would vote
Yeah,
for? You guys are voting for Cory Stewart.
Yay! I thought so.
We both are.
Yes, you are.
Oh, it's horrible.
Just
Why is that horrible?
As a matter of fact, you gave Ed, a little more centrist-y kind of a Republican-y guy. You gave him 1, which was on the very first thing. You gave Ralph, who's a little bit center-left, 1, and you gave Tom 1, who's far out there.
So what did I do?
You've got 6 for Cory Stewart and 2 for Ed and 1 NA because we don't know. And you have 1 NA.
All
You
right.
got 6 and 2. Now.
So you know who you're rolling with now.
Well, the game has taught me that Cory Stewart's my candidate.
Well, I think we joke around. I call you liberal Nate, but I think you've come to figure out that yes, you have some liberal views in your
Because you want to help
your
people.
public taxi is definitely one of them.
What
but-
if you started your own business to be a taxi?
yeah.
You could get no, I'm seriously
You should Uber at night.
Yeah, if I had a car that was more
reliable.
No, it has to do with the
Accessible.
year. That's what it is. Like I have the 4 doors, but I don't have the
Oh,
right
you could
year.
taxi though.
You have to have a certain
Taxi
year
exactly.
to be a Uber.
Yeah.
Uber.
It has to be. I want to say something like a 2008 or newer.
Really?
Yeah,
So
there is
motherfuckers
a
wanna ride in
restriction.
style.
Yeah.
All right. Now, hopefully my screen stays open. Okay, because I shut my printer off.
Well, hold on. I wanted to continue to make a point. So
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
the end of the day, and I talk about this all the time about I think that we're more in line once we talk about things, and I think this was a great test to that. That I mean, like I said, you typically, if you would have known you were voting conservative, or known that was Cory Stewart, you probably wouldn't have voted that way, right?
Right. Maybe. 'Cause
But
everyone does that. I
typically,
think
But your
everyone
morals
does
and values dictate how you really feel.
yeah,
It's not your party line,
yeah,
and that's why I want people to tear up the ideology of the party line.
I
Like,
think there's
fuck that
conservatives that would vote for Ralph. Totally. His ideas are like me. I'm like, I got some questions. Like I said, like we went through. Like I don't know. I got questions. What does that mean? What is that? It sounds like a word sound. What are you saying there? But he's
The other guy is real.
center left, and then Tom is left, and
He's a Bernie bro.
Yes, and
And you know what? That's probably who I would have voted for.
right.
Yeah, you would have said, "Oh, he likes Bernie."
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
I encourage you voters, not just streamers but voters, read up on these people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
find
mean, we
out.
went over some basics. Obviously, I don't have everything. It was a quick, put together of some basic of their ideas.
Don't-
You may find questions that you want answered. You may find them and decide that's who you want to vote for. But at least you're an informed voter. You're not voting for who's got an R and who's got a D. That's what I'm going.
I don't
for.
like
Right.
Corey Stewart
Please.
because he was a Trump supporter. Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to vote Tom because
Please.
Bernie likes him.
Yeah,
Don't do
please
that.
Don't do that, guys. This matters. This matters so much because this really directly affects us.
Mhm.
And they also can be a shield to things that you don't like about the federal government. If your state's doing the right things, right, it doesn't matter what the federal government's doing in a way.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So, anyways, but as a little fun game, yeah, you get 6 and wow, Nate 5 for a little shot. But anyways,
I'm not. I knew it.
All right. So we had this issue before, so I'm going to warn the listeners now. I'm going to read a statement. The camera may go out for some reason. If it's not on my main screen for a while, it decides to close off. So
Well,
it may
read fast.
just be our voices. All right. This is something I thought you guys would want to know.
I'm beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, very nice. You're adorable. All right. Okay.
I like that too.
As of June 1st, 2017, Ralph Northman's campaign had 1.3 million cash on hand, almost twice as much as his opponent Tom Perelio at his numbers reserve. Out of Northman's donation, 87.8% came from within the state, including $250,000 from investor Michael Bills and nearly $250,000 more from Northman's own PAC, Stronger Together. Perelio's donations followed the opposite geographic pattern, with 71.7% originating outside Virginia, including $500,000 each from George Soros and
Oh,
Sonja Smith, the wife of top Northam donor Michael Bills. They're being funded by the same family.
Wow.
Yeah. Other significant donors to the Perelio campaign include investor Donald Sussman, a board member for the Center of American Progress. Came a lot in the WikiLeaks, same one, which Perelio led between 2011 and 2015, and the Avaz Foundation, a political group Perelio helped establish. Fun facts there, okay?
yes.
Now, among Republican candidates, Ed Gillespie led with 2.5 million cash on hand, including nearly 1.2 from his PAC, Let's Grow Virginia. Other top Gillespie donors include businessman Dwight C. Scharr, former President George W. Bush, and the PAC of Carly Fiorna's 2016 presidential campaign. Gillespie was followed by Corey Stewart with nearly $190,000 cash on hand. The majority of the money donated to Stewart's campaign came from his Prince William County Board campaign reserves, totaling nearly $520,000. Other major Stewart donors included Dallas investor Christopher Ekstrom and the Potomac Nationals baseball team.
Cool.
And then there's another guy, which we didn't discuss, who had some. So I also want to, I'm trying to see if I can pull it up, that some of the big names that have backed people.
I do know on the Democrat side, Northam has Tim Kaine and Terry McAuliffe, who are at least Virginians, where
Yes.
the other guy has Bernie Sanders, Obama, and the Clintons
Yeah. That I'm like,
that have
why
nothing
are
to do
you
with Virginia.
involved in my governor's race? You lost your own race. Leave me alone.
Sounds like they're globalist socialists.
Yeah, I'm not cool with that. I'm not. Very much not.
Not that I like Terry McAuliffe or Tim Kaine,
Yeah.
but they're at least Virginians.
Right? So that's what I felt. I was like, well, Northam at least has Virginians for him. However, they're both being funded, one by the wife and one by the husband.
I wouldn't vote for either one of them shitbags.
That just looks shady as hell and is questionable. Even with some of the things I kind of like. I'm like, I have some questions, but I don't totally disagree with this. But just that alone makes me go.
Well, typically
what?
the parts that you agreed with Northam, the Republican candidates were very similar as well.
Yes, and that's probably why, right? Yeah, Corey Stewart is homegrown. His money was from home, and it's just him. And a lot of it's come from donations here. He's been endorsed by the National Committee woman representing Virginia, and the Republican National Committee. That she's in the Republican National Committee, and by the Political Action Committee of the Virginia Citizens Defense League, an advocacy group opposed to firearm regulations. That's what he's got, right? So that's why he's probably strong on that. Now, Ed Gillespie is George W. Bush, Morgan Griffith,
More
Bob
globalist.
Goulait, he's a Spotsylvania guy, Representative Barbara Comstock, former governors George Allen and Bob McDonnell, and former presidential candidate Carly Fiorina. He's also been endorsed by national figures like Scott Walker, Doug Ducey, Nikki Haley, and former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich. I mean, it's nice and all to have the big guys rooting for you, but that always kind of rubs me the wrong way. Because
What stake do they got in the game?
yeah, like why are you all up in my business? I don't no thank you. Like we need to handle our business, and I don't really need outsiders to do that. So, anyways, that's what we got. Any further questions?
No, I think this was fun. It's kind of enlightening. I'm sure Nate wants to go in the bathroom and cry after what he's discovered.
Sorry.
But no, I hope this was fun for everybody. It's definitely fun for us. And get out and vote. Take it seriously. This is only the primary, but definitely start getting serious about your local elections. We don't vote for an emperor.
Now, just to let you know, you've also got Lieutenant Governor.
Well, that's for here.
Attorney General. No, that's for all of Virginia.
Okay.
That's for all of Virginia. That's on the ballot, and you're gonna have. You've probably seen the signs all over the place about your local stuff. Pay attention. You got a couple days. It's only Tuesday, but you got a couple days to at least
Do some
ignore the
research.
Party lines. Go read something. Go read something good.
And
Right?
get out there and
Good
vote.
for your state. Get out and vote.